had my doubts. But I also believed that if we stuck together, somehow we could change our fate.
Welcome back, my little recusants, to another episode of Final Fantasy 13. The gang is finally all here, all together, all open to us being able to customize our party.
Daisley's through there. We're still gonna have our talk. So let's survive this first, yeah?
Right.
So finally we get a little notification to say that we can customize our battle team formation. Go into the paradigm part of the settings and you can customize who is in your party. Now, for now at least, the tricky thing is that Lightning is locked as our leader. We can't actually change her, but we can move our other party members around. And so for all of you guys that were betting on who would be in my team, you're going to find out now. But as you can see, Saz has a metric ton of Christinogen points. So we're just going to rocket our way through the Crystarium and get him a bunch of commando stuff. Getting himself a role level in the process. So now Saz has level 3 in all of his major roles. It's now just time to go along and just double check what stat tidy up do we need to do. And I think with 7,000 we should be fairly okay. I mean, an awful lot of his stuff is only costing 970, so just under 1,000. So yeah, just having to ski-daddle along, make sure everything's gotten. Quicker way to do that is by looking at the numbers, Liam, but how and ever. Yeah, heading into Ravager now, getting Spark Strike. We love that for ourselves. One other HP node over there. Go, 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 go. But yeah, we finally have our full party together. Oh my god, it's been so long. For those wondering, I typically like to go for Lightning as a leader. That's why I've been like boosting all of her stuff up really high. And Vanille as our kind of debuffing and extra healer, and Hope for our buffing and extra healer. So I can kind of keep Lightning just on offensive skills the whole time. And now obviously with Vanille having Raise, big bonus there. Like we have two characters with Lightning and Vanille being able to resurrect. Super good quality stuff. And yeah, looking at Medic, I'm like, alright, Medic's done. We still have some bits to get through in Saboteur. And like, this is obviously, you know, they need to do this, or there aren't that many stats this go around. But like, whenever you start getting strength nodes for your casters, you're like, it's such a waste, you know? Like, at least with Medic, you're like, fair enough, it's going to be magic and HP. Like, that seems to be the bonus for that. And then in Ravager, it's kind of a bit of a hodgepodge of everything. But then, like, when you start getting like that, this branch of like 4 strength, 5 strength, 4 strength, you're like, she can't attack. Vanille does not have the attack action. Her strength stat is literally useless. Oh, anyway, rant over. But yeah, Ravager all done, Saboteur all done, Medic all done, and now we're just going to go into our battle team and just get our Vanille over there. And unfortunately, we're not able to move Lightning, even though like I wouldn't move her anyway. But there is an argument to be had that like you could go with Snow, Hope, Vanille, and they'd have the complete variety of all the different paradigms. But yeah, now you can just swap them in and they walk around in the area with you. But as I say, Hope having one of the highest magic stats going is definitely a really, really useful character to have. and similarly, like, you're going to be using your double Ravengers commando, so you might as well have those with the strongest magic stats doing those, and Vanille and Hope are, like, Hope's the top level magic stat in the game, and Vanille's a close second. So we're just actually going to get as many of these as we can, and then upgrade more of Lightning's Axis Blade. And then after finishing that, we're gonna continue down the way here. So this area is basically a bunch of different corridors and just branching paths that we have to activate. So you have a little button console there to the left hand side, and we're just gonna make a quick save, and then you basically activate it and it drops down a stairs, or like a corridor, I suppose. Ramp is the word I was trying to say. And every enemy here is a Psychon enemy, which means every enemy here can drop incentive chips, and we literally have big amounts of enemies, as in we have 4 different chances to get incentive chips if we're lucky. And we're just going to basically be using Vanille to de-shell and poison. De-protect would be better, but basically taking down one of them, and now we're going to blitz it up while Hope basically applies protect and shell and just boosts our defenses up. Going to take a slightly more offensive one where Vanille's going to keep on lowering their defenses with that. We now are noticing, yeah, that's the one problem. We've brought all the squishies, but we can use triple medic to just literally in very quick time heal up everyone to basically full, and then go back on the offensive. And again, doing thousands of damage per spell attack, like they're really, really strong. And then just ignore the bazookas and just keep on attacking.
Thanks.
So that is going to be one of the things that this party is going to struggle with. We don't have a sentinel. We have no way to draw that aggressive fire. But we have all of the damage. And like that, poisoned, imperiled, and Hope doing 5,000 damage with stagger. Like, it's just crazy. They're just definition of like glass cannon, but yet we're able to just boost our defenses with synergy, and we're able to lower their defenses, so it's not too bad. And yeah, there is one thing where you do want to look down your character and then like that check. Does Vanille have Ravenger in her kit? Does she have Medic? Does she have Saboteur? And like, yes, you can just look horizontally and go, okay, that's how I want all the paradigms to interact with each other. But you never want a situation where you realize, oh, actually, Vanille doesn't have Ravenger at all. So she's not able to use her Ravenger skills ever. And ultimately, when you have something staggered, that's what you want to do. You want to have 2 Ravengers and a Commando, just building the stagger guard, the stagger gauge, oh my god, to level 9 and 9, and just doing the maximum damage possible. And like, what's super frustrating as well is that like, even if Vanille were to somehow get Commando, you know that like the auto battle would just put Ruin. Like, Ruin is a non-elemental magical attack in the Commando. So like, I don't know, well, like, look at it, just because they'd be so OP if they just got magic bonuses the entire time. But yeah, for characters like Vanille and Hope that are only magic attackers, like, all we need to do is just get them and their magic stat super high, and like, no matter what, across their 3 rolls, they're going to be doing magic damage. But here we have another one of those friends. This is just a really long fight. Those armadillos always are. So we're just gonna cut that. And basically what you're going to want to do, and what you'll notice with the layout of this map, is that there's essentially 3 corridors. There's a central one, one on the left and one on the right. And they all interconnect with each other. But basically you could just run like all down the left side and all down the right side, and there is going to be accessories and items up the top of both ends and at the bottom of both ends. But that particular side, like, I'm not gonna, you know, mince words. This game is literally screaming at you at this point because we've gotten loads of different abilities. But we've since gotten 2 ruin bracers, which increase resistance to all magical damage. Not strictly speaking elemental damage, but all magic based attacks by 10%. And essentially, you know, this should scream at you that the next boss fight we're going to encounter is going to be using magic based attacks. It's literally tossed you 2 of the same accessory. So even if, you know, you might think, oh well, I can now put rune braces on 2 of my party members, or I could give lightning both rune braces, so she's taking 20% less magic damage, you know. And then we have a new weapon for Snow, so it's even trying to that, you know, it's trying to even subtly say to you, okay, he has these ward abilities like death wards, like, you know, giving you basically second chance. So if you were to get a death ability, you won't instantly die, or if you were going to take damage that would KO you, you might just take down to 1 HP and have a chance to survive. And so it's actually saying, here's a new thing for your tank, and here's some tanking accessories. You might want to equip that to Snow, put Snow in your party, and make sure he has enough magical defense to tank it through. So the game, in fairness, does give you every chance to succeed. And with these particular enemies, you need a saboteur. Like, that's where Vanille is proving herself invaluable, because she's just getting rid of all these extra buffs that are on these 2 characters. Because other than that, she will, you know, run amok with her bravery and her haste and just make our lives a living hell. And once, you see, this is another thing you could kind of point out, is that once Hope's put up Protect and Shell, realistically, we should just have a paradigm that has Vanille continuing to debuff, and then Lightning on Commando and Hope on Ravager, really. But their big guy, the guy in the big armor, he is actually dispelling. So at the very least, if we keep our buffs up, he will, instead of like attacking, he's basically going to spend his time making sure that we essentially are being debuffed the whole time, and he isn't going to be attacked. But we're just going to hop into Hero's Charge. This is kind of a handy middle of battle paradigm where Hope's going to be reapplying buffs so that this guy still is debuffing us. And we obviously also could have had Try Disaster, but not right now, I guess. Just keep up the attack and see, since Vanille has gotten rid of all of her buffs, the real threat of this enemy is the fact that she has Protect, Shell, Haste and Bravery, and so without it, it becomes quite an handy situation. And you see, Salvation is literally just a 2-second transformation. Just go in and then try and keep the stagger alive. That was really bad on my part, don't let it get that low. But as you can see, Now we're into Try Disaster, and just look at how this stagger goes now. And that's with lightning missing like 2 attacks, so just use thunder. It's more reliable than the strike moves. And then we're just gonna launch it into the air, and hopefully now we can just keep it up in the air, staggered, and then game over basically. But that's gonna be our team. Like the triple medic, the triple Ravager, the relentless assault, the commando, saboteur, and synergist, and then, you know, other combinations for doing attacks, and we'll 5-star an awful lot. And as you can see, we got 2 credit chips, and so literally, like, this map isn't hard to explore. I just explained to you that there's basically 3 columns. There's a center area and a corridor to the left and a corridor to the right. Just literally go up and down it, activate every little pathway. Just don't go through the big center pathway at the very end and you should be fine. But there's literally treasures on nearly all of these platforms, so just make sure you go across and you find all these treasure chests, because like these ones you can't miss. The loot is too good to be ignored. Like that one chest, 3,600 gil. Yes please, that's nearly like, you know, 1.5 times an incentive chip, for goodness sake, you know? Just fight the enemies, see if you can collect more incentive chips. I grind here for a very, very long time, purely because you get so many chances for incentive and credit chips, and you just have to run up and straight down. And there's a save point there over to your right hand side in the center. So like, you can upgrade, you can do whatever. Like, it's a great kind of chance to just take stock, see what's there, level up, and also level up your accessories, because I've kind of only been leveling up the Axis Blade, but like there is so much benefit in just going to your equipment and upgrading your accessories and even trying to get them to another tier. But like that, you have the gold bangle, more HP than any of the other bangles we have so far. And like, what's frustrating me in my own head is, yeah, I should have actually been upgrading these iron bangles, 2 silver bangles, 2 gold bangles. Like, I shouldn't have just been sleeping on it, I suppose. The next boss fight is going to be really chaotic. Even if you upgrade everything, you're going to be in trouble. But like, you have battles like these that have tons of Psycom enemies that you're going to be getting tons of EXP first of all. And literally, yeah, if you just make a straight line down the left hand side, down the middle and down the right hand side, you'll get access to all the treasure chests. And again, just going into battle to battle, and eventually here is where is going to lead to the final boss. So just don't go through there. We spend a good bit of time grinding off screen, but really this is where the big moment is going to be, and it's going to be major story beats a bit later. So I'm going to chat to you guys next time.